You want the intro or do you want me to have the intro?
You can have the intro, because I haven't perfected an intro yet.
You haven't perfected an intro yet?
You want to do my intro I did last time?
What was your intro last time? Something about backyard bullshit. You know, one of these times, the first time, I thought about just walking in and being like, hey! Like having you and Eli just be BSing. And then I just walk in like, what the fuck is this? You know? Hey! Welcome back, everyone. Yeah, you see that? You see how smooth that was, that transition? Yeah. I took notes from Mr. Bomar, man. Welcome back to Backyard Bullshit. You're laughing already. What the heck, bro?
We're coming at you live from Kelowitz Customs.
Yeah, the garage.
The famous Kelowitz garage.
I guess, if you want to call it that, you know?
I know, it ain't famous.
I guess it is famous to us because I bring my vehicles here all the time.
I know. I wish it was a little bit bigger, like Dad's.
Yes, yeah.
Except for you eliminate the paint booth so I can have more room.
Yeah, I feel that.
Except for I like having a paint booth now.
Beep, 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 beep. Baby monitor's going off. Gosh, what a rookie mistake, am I right?
Yeah, I know. What a rookie. I don't know what I'm doing.
Welcome back to Backyard Bullshit, the podcast where we bullshit, and we're finally in a setting that is like a real backyard bullshit setting. So hopefully summertime we can actually be outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're the podcast where we just bullshit. I already said that.
I've officially came up with the name for the basement.
Oh,
for our podcast, if we ever do it out of the basement again.
Oh yeah?
It's the party room.
The party room. Oh hey, hold on, give me 1 second. So what do we have tonight? Man, me and my stuttering.
Alright, Biden.
Yeah, I can't put a sentence together with a darn anymore, you know what I'm saying? Now, you want something else? I'm going to do a shout out real quick.
That works too.
You know who I'm going to shout out to? I'm going to shout out to you, brother man.
Why? What did I do?
For putting the spark plugs in my truck this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
This past weekend, I should say. Yeah. So
I did my charity work for the week.
Yeah. He put the spark plugs in my truck, and now it runs a little nicer. There's still a lot more work to do to my truck, but that's a start. Now I got a spark. Levi, I had like multiple ideas for this, and you know what? You know what, Levi?
Yeah.
I forgot of it. It was around the time I didn't have my phone or a notebook paper. So I was like, oh, I gotta remember this, you know. And if you don't know me personally, like, I'm really bad. 1 minute, I know something. Next minute, it's out of my head. It's gone.
So you know what I find really funny? So I text Isaiah about every single day about like sports news or something interesting in the world that's going on. And by the time it comes to do this by the time it comes
the pod tag, here we come, the pod tag, oh.
By the time it comes to do this pod,
is that relation to the tic tac, huh? Is that relation to the tic tac, the pod tag? What the fuck is the pod tag?
I don't know. Apparently I'm getting like Joe Biden over here.
Is it
I can't
where
talk.
the tic tac goes on? I don't know. Like the pod tag? Yeah. Whoa, maybe tic tac came out with the pod tag now.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, continue.
But by the time it comes to do this podcast, it goes poof.
Yeah.
And now for once in my life, I actually wrote notes down, and Isaiah's brain goes.
And for once in my life, I didn't write nothing down. I mean, I wrote down the scores, and I was like, like when I actually remember, because I actually had time, I actually was like, I gotta write this down. And then I was like, man, what was I wanting to like really talk about this week? And so you know what I just wrote? Talk about some real shit.
Well, you want real? Israel.
That I was just about to go there too. So out of your opinion, who's the guilty party out of this? Who started it?
I don't know, but
anyway, I was told that Israel started it, launching missiles over to Hamas, but then the media was saying Hamas did it, and well, I mean, I know they kidnapped and tortured and killed 160, maybe even more now, people. But then what happened like last night, 2 nights ago, Israel bombed a hospital in Gaza and killing, gosh, I'm blanking on the teens, the Tines, the Palpatine, not the Palpatines, gosh.
The Palestinians?
The Palestinians, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. So, I don't know, you military man.
I will be honest here, I was like really big into it when it first started because of like everything that was going on over there. I was kind of, I wouldn't say intrigued, but a few weeks ago we did a podcast and we talked about the end of times and Revelation, and then all of a sudden Israel goes and gets attacked, and I found it kind of coincidental that we had that podcast and now Israel's getting attacked. But so I was really interested, and it kind of intrigued me a little bit, but I haven't really read much up on it since then. I do know that somewhere out in Michigan there was a whole basketball arena that of supporters got together and they were supporting Hamas, or the Hamas, or isn't it Hamas? Yeah, supporting
the militant group.
Yeah, and so the Hamas are actually, from my understanding, they're actually the bad guys over there. They are kind of like the terrorist group over there. And yes, I understand that Israel and them have been at war for a while and everything else. But we have to stand with Israel on this one. And the reason I say that is because
it's the Holy Land.
Yeah, and if we don't stand with Israel, I can't remember exactly what it says, but it says something about the day that we don't stand with Israel.
It's the day that end times.
Yeah, it's basically end times. And also, the other thing is hopefully it doesn't get anywhere near Bethlehem. But if it gets close to Bethlehem, guess who's coming back?
Jesus.
Yup.
So you're saying we've already, because we talked about this before, you're saying we've already been through the tribulation times. Wait.
No. It's going to start. The tribulation period.
Jesus comes, then the tribulation starts, right? Yeah.
Because then that's when all, for lack of better terms, that's when all hell breaks loose.
Huh.
Because basically, we are in the church age right now. Jesus comes down, takes his children, and then the world just goes to complete shit.
And
it goes to complete shit for like 7 years. And then Jesus comes in and strikes the whole world and basically walks all evil away, and then it's a 1,000-year reign.
Wow.
And it's perfect. And then he lets the devil out at the end of a 1,000-year reign, and there are still idiots who believe the devil after having a perfect 1,000 years.
So will I be back on this earth for 1,000 years to have this perfect life, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because isn't that when like? Is hold on? Is that when like all the dead, all their ashes come back together for that 1,000 years before the releases the devil, and the final judgment like starts, and people who like trust in the devil end up going with the devil, while the ones that still believe in Jesus and want to be with Jesus end up going away into heaven, into the eternal life.
So yeah. So my advice to you guys: better start getting right.
Start praying. My advice to you guys is stay alive. Look alive, stay alive. Because I wake up in the morning and I'll piss excellence.
Yup. Every fucking day.
I'm the best.
I don't just piss excellent. I piss pure excellence.
I piss righteousness. That's what I piss. Oh, you heard about the holy water. Well, I got the holy pee, damn it.
My morning pisses are better than sex pisses.
Nah, after sex, it just burns. You know, I wonder if Jesus was pissing out in a yard and all of a sudden flowers started growing.
I don't know. Very well could have happened.
Maybe I should go overseas and start doing some soil testing. Oh, yep. This is a very good soil. Must have been where Jesus peed.
But yeah, we also within within 8 hours we took out like all of Iran's army.
Yeah.
We did like a huge airstrike and within 8 hours, bye, see ya, Iran.
Iraq and then Iran. Oh
yeah.
man.
Like I said, is if this thing, I'm not saying, and for all I know, the media could be blowing this up.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but like I said, it's very interesting times right now because of the fact that we all know what's coming. Growing up in a Christian household and everything, and not truly understanding.
Well, because we'll never know when the end time is.
Exactly.
I mean, in the Bible,
Jesus didn't even know.
Jesus says there will be multiple wars, and kingdoms will rise and kingdoms will fall.
Yeah.
So it could just be another one of those in Israel.
Yeah.
A kingdom rise and a kingdom fall, like it always happened in the Old Testament.
Yup. Exactly. So, like I said, it's very interesting times right now just because of the fact that if you are a true Christian, and when I say true Christian, I mean a believer and not just someone who goes to church and thinks that's how they're going to get into heaven. But like if you're a true believer and
you know, the decked out cross necklaces, the chains,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
the gold rims with the cross in the center on your car, you know.
All right, we don't need like the Larry the Cable Guy three wise men over here. Jeez.
The one deck. I mean the big deck.
I got a little deck, so don't worry.
Don't worry, the little.
We need a trim around my deck so it looks bigger.
Yeah, I gotta trim the bushes around my deck, my little deck.
I can see Uranus from here.
Yeah, I just been lubing up my deck this weekend. Oiling up my deck this weekend. One of those.
So,
anyways, we're getting off topic again.
Back to serious note here. So yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, it's interesting times if you truly know like what's going to happen at the end of the world and what's going on in Israel right now, because you never know, this could be the end of times, or like Isaiah said, it could just be another war. So I was kind of really, like I said, at the beginning I was really intrigued in it, and slowly it just kind of faded away because I just got tired of everybody predicting the end of times and everybody.
Yeah, it gets frustrating because we don't know when the end of time is.
Exactly. And so if it happens, it happens.
Yep. If it's our time, it's our time. And I hope I'll be the one that's chosen.
So this week, I have done a little bit of changing of the names.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah?
I've gone with themes now.
Themes that we've been trying to implement but haven't perfected in the last 2 weeks.
Exactly. So there's a podcast out there called Husker Rewind.
Yeah, I know about it.
So I'm using Husker Rewind for our recap of what went on this past week. Secondly, the motto this year is "What's next?" So that explains to everyone of what is upcoming in the event for the Huskers.
There we go.
So I have officially taken a few trends and implemented them.
Sweet.
So, as you all know, the Huskers had for our Husker Rewind, let me back up here. For our Husker Rewind, the Huskers had a bye week.
Which is an automatic win, baby! Woo!
Yeah. On Monday, Henrik Harburg was officially named the starting quarterback for the Huskers moving forward. Jeff Sims is actually taking it like a champ. He is still being a leader in the locker room, and he is still mentoring the young quarterbacks and teaching them things in film room and just being a good all-around team member and leader.
I think, in my honest opinion, I do like Hardberg. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like him, but I still want to see a dual quarterback style play.
So, thanks for bringing that up.
We getting one?
We might be getting one.
Woo!
So, Matt Rule has hinted at the fact that he would love to see both quarterbacks, possibly all three quarterbacks, in at the same time.
Ooh.
So he has hinted at that. Now, will it happen? That is the next question. But the fact that he's hinted at it, there is something play-wise that they are cooking up right now in the Husker locker room and I don't know what it is, and I cannot wait for it to possibly come about. I do know that in the beginning of the year, Henrik Harburg actually said that he was willing to play wherever he needed to play to make this team better. And Matt Rule mentioned that he could utilize Harburg as someone like Taysom Hill for the what Sean Payton did in the NFL with Taysom Hill for the Saints. Well, I don't know if that's still something they're cooking up or what, but who knows? We will figure it out in the future. So there are 3 new black shirts that were handed out this week. So let me backtrack on this a little bit. So only the starters are getting black shirts.
You gotta earn them.
Exactly. So if you don't know what the black shirt tradition is, what it used to be is back in the day, Bob Devaney was trying to figure out how to divide the starters into groups, and told one of his assistant coaches to go to a local store and pick out something for the defense. Well, he found a bunch of black jerseys and just picked up a bunch of random black jerseys, and that was how they distinguished
the black shirts.
Exactly. And that was and it didn't really take off. It took a few years before it actually
before someone was like, oh, this is actually genius.
Well, then the Lincoln Journal-Star wrote a big paper on it about the black shirts, and it all of a sudden it took off as a tradition after that. So, is it Deshaun Jackson? No. I can't think of who it is. But so the 3 new black shirts is free safety Phelan Sanford. He is the player that I'm trying to think of that I can't think of right now, but he, due to injuries, he stepped up into the starting role against Illinois and played really well. Linebacker Nick Heinrich. Nick Heinrich was a starter, but he never officially earned his black shirt until now. And then Jamari Butler, which he was also a starter, but never officially earned a true black shirt until now. So we only have one new name to the starting defense, but it's still cool to see black shirts getting handed out. Hold on here.
Uh-oh, he has to Google a name. Won't take him a minute. Can't believe it.
Deshaun Singleton is who Phelan Sanford replaced. And then also there was a article about local Nebraska kids that are starting to make an impact. I did not write the names down because there was just like 12 different names, and I figured that would take a little while to do. But if you do want to read about your local Nebraska kids, there is an article in the Lincoln Journal-Star that will mention who they are, how they're making an impact, and what high school in Nebraska they went to.
Is it the one that you sent me?
Yeah.
Alright. I'll put the link in the description if I remember.
And then what's next for the Huskers is So during the bye week, Matt Rowe and company, they hit the recruiting trail really hard. So we've handed out a lot of offers, and I did not write any of the names down because there was just too many to go through a name. So, but there are some big names out there that we did make offers to. So be expecting to hear back on if they actually committed or not. So this weekend is homecoming against Northwestern. Kickoff is at 2:30 p.m. We are wearing alternate jerseys to celebrate 100 years at Memorial Stadium. Our jerseys will have a blue outline of the lettering, and the blue represents the very first game that was held in Memorial Stadium on October 13th, 1923, against the Oklahoma Sooners. So you had two red teams, and we wanted to be different and stick out. So we decided to wear blue jerseys instead. So this year they made alternate jerseys and incorporated the blue into these jerseys. There are four statements, I want to say, around the Memorial Stadium. There are four quotes or statements, however you want to word it, around Memorial Stadium. Those will be embroidered, or not embroidered. I can't talk.
Biden.
I know. Hey, at least I can find the stairs. Sorry. This is now why this is called backyard bullshit, because we try to be serious and we just can't. What's the word that I'm trying to come up with?
I don't know. What word were you trying to come up with?
For
the rebranding? Is that
so the quotes on Memorial Stadium will also be on the jerseys. There's a word I'm looking for that I cannot seem to find.
I mean, it could be patched on. It could be.
But isn't that same thing as embroidery?
Embroidery?
Yeah.
You said branding, I guess. Or you said braiding, didn't you?
Oh, did I say
embroidery? You said braiding.
Fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so they will have that. Also, I couldn't find it when I was looking it up earlier, but the Nebraska basketball team landed a huge commit. The hometown kid that was like a 4-star recruit. I couldn't find it when I was doing these notes, so I apologize to everyone out there, but Husker basketball is looking decent, or I'm actually glad to see a hometown kid come and play for his hometown college. The Nebraska volleyball team is ranked second nationally right now. They take on Northwestern. Oh wait, tonight.
Or Wednesday.
2
days from now. Because this will be uploaded on Friday.
Yeah, and I can't tell you the score because this will be uploaded on Friday, so.
Maybe I'll just, put it in on the screen, text style. If I remember.
Yeah. So they're taking on Northwestern tonight.
I should start taking notes.
Now we are going to flip over.
Hold on. One thing. I forgot to do this in the intro, but can I get an oh yeah?
Oh, yeah?
Okay, now you can continue. Oh, no, you're not going to continue.
Okay, so the next topic is what's new in the kingdom.
What is new in the kingdom?
You're
in the jungle, baby!
Get out of here, Cincinnati. We don't like you. This ain't Cincinnati. This is Kansas City. This ain't Burrowhead. It's Arrowhead. So, granted, having a poor performance in my mind against the Denver Broncos, the Chiefs did beat them 19-8. Taylor Swift was in the house. And guess who made his first appearance to a Chiefs game this year?
His dad. Kelsey's dad. I should be more specific.
Thank you. Dad. Travis Kelce's dad, Ed Kelsey, made his first appearance to a Chiefs game.
Congrats, Ed. You're a real fan, Ed.
So then October 31st is the NFL trade deadline. I did have a few names on here that you should watch for because they are rumored to be getting traded to or signing with Kansas City. A few of these names have actually changed because
they signed on somewhere else, huh?
No. So earlier today, or should I say on Wednesday, Mecole Hardman got traded for a late round pick from the Jets back to Kansas City. We had Frank Clark will be in the house on Thursday or
yesterday.
Will be in the house. And he is going to take a physical, and if he passes his physical, more than likely he is signing with Kansas City and making his return because on Monday, after the Broncos lost to the Chiefs, they decided to release Frank Clark. And Chris Jones wants his buddy back.
Yeah.
So
I would want my buddy back.
And if he plays this year, and if he plays in the playoffs, Frank Clark will be the new NFL postseason sack leader. That is, if he can get like 2 more sacks
in the postseason. In postseason.
So that gives him a really good opportunity to break that record. Another name to watch that's been really connected is Marquise Hollywood Brown, which Isaiah over here was a big fan of Marquise Hollywood Brown because he was drafted by none other than the
Ravens.
Thank you. So, and then Kyler Murray wanted his old college buddy back to play with him.
And they stole him from us.
And so Ravens traded him away, and he has yet to have a 1,000-yard season since being traded.
And I never recovered.
You're fine. You need a hug?
No.
Okay.
Good thing I don't play fantasy football.
Oh.
That would be devastating. I'd still have him on my team. But I don't know if the pain will ever go away.
So, yeah.
Anyway, next on the list.
So, a couple other names to watch for are Darius Slayton. He is a wide receiver from the Giants. Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy, they're both wide receivers from the Broncos. I doubt this trade will ever happen because they are division rivalries, so I have no clue how they got connected to them, but they are names that keep popping up around the world, so, and in connection with the Kansas City Chiefs, so I have no clue what's brewing there But like I said, is I don't see either one of these going to a division rivalry team. Noah Fant, he is a tight end from Seattle. Noah Fant was actually he's a Kansas City boy. Not actually from Kansas City, but like the suburbs, one of those smaller suburb towns of Kansas City. He was drafted by the Denver Broncos. He was actually in the trade package for Russell Wilson. Noah Fant has a lot of upside to him. The best comparison I can make for him is he is like another Jody Fortson or a Noah Gray, and so those are both tight ends for Kansas City. So his style of play is similar. So if you're looking for like a Travis Kelce replacement, he could be the guy or someone else. Speaking of Travis Kelce replacements, this is a name that I really, really like.
Oh, yeah?
Kyle Pitts from the Falcons. Kyle Pitts, I believe he is a big body receiver. I believe he went to Florida for college. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's right. He is coming out of college. He was referred to a lot as the next George Kittle, the next Rob Gronkowski, the next Travis Kelce. He showed a lot of those traits. So I specifically like this because of the fact that he's a younger version of Travis Kelce. And don't get me wrong, I love Travis Kelce. But Travis Kelce is 34 years old. So eventually, he's going to retire.
It might be traveling around the world with Taylor Swift. You never know.
So, speaking of Travis and Taylor Swift, I got some news. Did an ex-teammate help set them up? You don't know?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Want to hear a crazy fact?
What?
So, Cameron Saunders is one of the lead backup dancers for Taylor Swift. Cameron Saunders is Kalen Saunders' brother. Kalen Saunders was a defensive tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs for 4 years before getting released this past year and signing with the New Orleans Saints. So, did Kelce have inside connection to getting Taylor Swift?
Well, what about his phone number on a bracelet thingy?
I'm just saying.
Maybe that's how he got it sent to Taylor Swift.
Did Travis Kelce have inside connections to get Taylor Swift?
Interesting.
I know, it is. When you do the connection here, it makes this whole thing a lot more interesting. So what's next for the Chiefs are they play the Chargers at 3:25 on CBS this Sunday.
Ooh. Yeah. Can I get an oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
There we go. On to
Now,
the next one.
Let's talk about the flock.
That's the Ravens if you don't know.
Yeah.
That's the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
So, this past week, the Ravens played the Tennessee Titans in London.
Woo!
At the Northumberland Development Project.
Did they have a cup of tea with it?
I don't know. I think they might have had a couple cups of tea because they beat them 24-16.
Maybe the the Texans have way too much T. You know what
It's
I'm
the
saying?
Titans, not the Texans.
Fuck, I mean, Titans. It's all a T, okay? It's all a T. See, they have too many T's. So they drank too much tea, and they lost the game. While the Ravens were just chilling, relaxing, throwing a couple cubes of sugar in their tea. Had some biscuits with it, They're fine. They're just chilling.
So, as I mentioned before, the trade deadline is October 31st. So, these are the names that keep getting connected to the Baltimore Ravens. Your first up is running back Saquon Barkley from the Giants. Your second one, you're gonna love your second connection.
Oh, who's my second one?
You just recently played him too.
Let's see, the Titans? Derrick Henry?
Yup.
Oh, snap.
But Derrick Henry is a possible trade candidate for the Baltimore Ravens. His name keeps getting connected.
Isn't he too old, though?
He is, but personally, yes, he's getting older, but I absolutely love the duo of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. So, if you can make it work for a couple years.
Even if you go with a dual running back system with Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry, that would be kind of dope.
That's what I'm saying is, I kind of, like I said, as if that's, the other ones are defensive end Brian Burns from the Panthers. He is actually the Panthers' leading pass rusher. And since they suck this year, and I don't think they have won a game yet, they are looking for draft picks to rebuild.
They're always rebuilding. They've been rebuilding since, 2016?
Yeah. So, a couple other names that I've already mentioned is Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton from the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos are, I didn't mention this earlier, but the Denver Broncos are going to be trading a lot, and when I say a lot of their roster, they're going to trade a lot of their roster because Sean Payton is looking for a complete rebuild. So he is going to ship a lot of players off and try rebuilding that. So that's hence the reason that's why these names keep popping up. I am going to completely butcher this guy's name, and I apologize to you. It is an offensive guard from the Patriots, Michael Onwenu. Onwenu, however you want to pronounce that.
I'll just ride with it because you put it in my head.
How would you pronounce that?
I had a way until you said on when you. Wenu? I don't know. Okay, anyway, continue.
So, that is, and then the other name that keeps getting brought up is cornerback Jalen Johnson from the Bears. Also, speaking of cornerbacks, I forgot to mention this in the Kingdom Talks, or what's new with the Kingdom. So the Steelers stole one of our promising cornerbacks from our practice squad, Darius Rush. He was a 5th-round selection from the Indianapolis Colts this past year in the draft out of North Carolina. Was it North or South Carolina? I don't remember. I think it's South Carolina because it's the Gamecocks. Yep. But yeah, and then he didn't make the 53-man roster. They dropped him. He had a lot of upside, so the Chiefs picked him up to their practice squad, and Steelers just decided, nope, we are going to go rob him. So, congrats to the Steelers. Hopefully he works out well. Hopefully he's a good fit for him. I was hoping to see him in a few years in a red and yellow jersey. But I guess not.
Not no more.
So, what's next for the Ravens is they play the Lions at noon on Fox this Sunday. Now, if you want my personal opinion,
they're going to lose?
No. I would have rather have had this for a Thursday night game.
Yeah, or a Sunday night game. Or a Monday night game.
No, Sunday night is the 49ers versus the Eagles. So you can't do...
Why did they have to get beat this week?
They both got beat this week.
Yeah, I know they both got beat this week. We could have... Man, that would have been dope. Both undefeated teams go into battle each other. Only one get a...
Oh, but this is going to make it even better, though. Because now they're out for vengeance. Because they both were undefeated, and now they both lost. So now someone's going to... The question is who's hungrier?
I'm hungry. Give me my cheeseburger. Give me my chicken. You having fun? You having fun reading?
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm not really reading. I'm more...
He's looking up, he's searching, he's Googling. In this meantime, while we're talking about this.
So, since we are talking about the 49ers and Eagles getting beat this week, I have some interesting football news.
Uh-oh.
So, Colorado, or should I say Coach Prime, a.k.a.
Deion Sanders. I don't know what I was doing there.
Coach Prime, a.k.a.
Deion Sanders.
And the Colorado Buffaloes somehow blew a 29-0 lead.
That was funny.
To Stanford. They were up 29-0 at halftime. Stanford ended up tying the game. It went into overtime, and Stanford ended up winning 46-43.
And then what did Deion say in his after game speech?
So in the press conference, Deion took a lot of the blame for it.
Oh, in the press conference.
But
to his boys, he had a different story to tell.
But if you hear the locker room conversation, he basically said that they got content and they are no longer hungry and they shouldn't be satisfied.
And they are not worthy of playing football. I don't know why I said being. I don't know why. I just did. Okay? Forgive me. Please.
So.
Okay, anyway.
You're good. So, as we mentioned earlier, the Cleveland Browns beat the San Francisco 49ers 19-17. 49ers should have actually won that game because there was 9 seconds left on the clock and they kicked a 41-yard field goal. And and hooked it right.
Watch out for
And
them hookers.
that was the end of the game. So Cleveland basically got a walk off. So they got pure lucky on that one. Jets beat the Eagles 20-14. There wasn't really anything. I wouldn't say that. I mean, it was an interesting game. Don't get me wrong, but there wasn't really anything like that stood out. It was just Jets kind of dominated from the beginning and
never back down.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I should say, kind of the Eagles started off dominating like they normally did, and then Jets put on the gas pedal and kind of never looked back. So it was
kind of ran them over.
Pretty much. So, and then the Giants almost beat the Bills.
Almost. Keyword almost.
Keyword is almost. The Bills beat them 14-9. It was a very, very interesting game, and the reason I say it was interesting is because the choo-choo train. Hey, this is where we put up the picture of that police officer.
What police officer?
The police officer that let everybody run the train on her. And this is why we officially call ourselves Backyard Bullshit, because
yeah, we say things like that.
We try to be serious, but we take everything
unserious.
Here's the road, and here's us.
Yeah, we don't follow suit of what everybody else does. We kind of just do our own thing.
Exactly.
We take the bumpy road. We don't like that flat road, that flat highway that the state doesn't use the money on to fix.
Exactly.
We just use the dirt roads. I mean, shit. Easy. Yeah. All right. Anyway.
So, what I found really interesting about this game was Brian Daboll and the New York Giants had really, really bad clock management. They ended both of the halves, so they ended the first half right before halftime on the 1 yard line without scoring, and they ended the game on the 1 yard line without scoring. So that is also why I said they almost beat the Bills, because if they would have been able to score on one of those, they would have had a really good opportunity to beat the Bills. I also believe that the Giants got screwed over on a defensive pass interference call on the Bills. And yes, you can come at me all you want because I'm a Chiefs fan, and I've been a Chiefs fan since the day I was born. And there is a lot of questionable calls at the end of Chiefs game that go in our favor, or there have been some questionable calls. Some of them have actually been legit. But besides the point, this was clearly a pass interference call because the defender grabbed his jersey without even turning his head and you could see him clearly pull the jersey. Which, I get it, the play right before that to put him on the 1 yard line was a pass interference call. And the clock was at 0, so they got a free play. But to me, they should have got another free play. So, the other interesting news coming out of football right now is Bill Belichick, the famous Bill Belichick, the 6-time Super Bowl championship coach Bill Belichick.
Thanks to Tom Brady.
Is now on the hot seat.
Oh, why? Tell me why, Levi.
Tell you why?
Tell me why.
Because
he sucks?
Yeah. Because he hasn't been making the playoffs, and
The Patriots
Robert.
are going downtown.
I can't think of his name.
Oh yeah.
Robert.
Oh, the one that got the sexual assaults claims on him a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Because he went to a masseuse and got a happy ending a couple times. That one, yeah, that one. But you wanna hear a rumor?
What's your rumor?
That I just heard today.
What's your rumor?
Who did the Chiefs play last week? Not Thursday. I know they played the Broncos. The one game that Taylor didn't show up to.
Oh. The Vikings.
Vikings. Aren't they playing the Vikings this week?
No. They play the Chargers this week. And I lied earlier. I was wrong. I just looked it up. So, it is not. It's Miami and the Eagles that play Sunday night, not the 49ers. 49ers do play on Monday.
It's the Dolphins and the Eagles. Cool.
Yeah. I always have the two teams right. I just never have them.
Yeah, you always mix them up.
I know.
Shame on you.
I always have them. I have them right. I just never have them right. Pioneers Inn is, well, I should actually let me backtrack here. Lazy Horse Brewery is hosting their annual gravel grind on Sunday at 9:30. It is where a bunch of bicyclists get together and they drive around Nebraska back roads and stop at local small town bars. And this year they are starting in Gilead at Pioneers Inn and finishing in Gilead at Pioneers Inn. So that goes on this Sunday at 9:30. All the proceeds go to fund our storm damage that was caused about a month ago due to a storm.
Well, a month and a half ago.
Or what'd I say?
A month ago.
Oh, yeah, about a little over a month ago.
Month and a half. We in the teens now. We're past the 15th of October. It was a half a month ago. Month and a half, I should say. Anyway, continue.
So that's going on. So if you want to participate in that, feel free to join us at 9:30. The other thing is my mom is making homemade pies for this, and so there may or may not be leftover pies by the end of it. So if you want to stop by and donate money and get yourself a piece of homemade pie, you're sure welcome to.
And I might end up making a pie. I don't know. Madre mentioned that I might have to make a pie. And if I do, I might try to make her let me make it the way I want to make it. That's a lot of makes in one sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't watched my baking, my YouTube channel of me baking or creating or whatever you want to call it with food, you should go check it out. This is your opportunity to go do something, you know?
So speaking of opportunities,
Okay.
here's another side note.
Alright.
So I have officially reached out to our senator and governor of the great state of Nebraska, and I have informed them that they need to change a few policies on historical buildings in this town.
There we go.
And I also, if you listen to our last podcast that I was on,
2 weeks ago.
Episode
6.
Isaiah called me out for contacting Donald Trump. And indeed, Donald Trump did write me back.
What? He did?
Yeah.
He did?
He wrote me back.
What?
And he said, unfortunately, due to high volume, we are not handing out donations at this time, which I never asked for a donation. I just simply said that if he became president again, to please make some changes. So
his assistant got it, is what you're saying.
probably.
And they're just like, yeah, just send him another letter, no donations. Fucking A.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like rich people. Their assistants get in the way of everything.
So yeah, I received a letter on Monday from Palm Beach, Florida.
Yeah, definitely
Signed.
his assistant.
Yeah. Signed by...
I don't think he was in Florida on Monday.
Probably not. But it was officially signed by Donald Trump, though. Which is kind of cool.
It was probably just a stamp.
It probably was. But still. I did get a letter back saying thank you for reaching out. But due to high volume, we are not doing donations at this time. Which I find really funny because all I did was mention to him that if he became president again, he needed to make a policy to preserve historical buildings and throughout our country and figure out a way to be able to insure them without breaking the bank. Without breaking the bank. I did have to laugh because I was not able to talk to Jim Pillen because he was out of the office at the time. But his secretary
Is her name Monica?
No. But his secretary, I do have to laugh because it sounded like she almost shit her pants after hearing how much it would cost to insure Piners in.
Oh.
And she was like, what?
So she probably took a couple notes, and hopefully Jim will be getting back to you soon.
Yeah. So yeah, she couldn't believe it, and she said that she finds it. She said her job is one of the most interesting jobs because she finds more about this state than what she thought was truly part of the state. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, hopefully...
Just because they say they're a great state doesn't mean they're a great state.
So with that being said, hopefully I have informed some people with a lot more higher power than me or you have that can possibly make some changes, and next time or make a few changes, and then hopefully mom and dad are able to insure Piners in, or at least somebody in this great state can insure an older building and use it for business.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyway, Levi, we're pretty much on time for this podcast.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you went through a lot of football notes. Which is fine because I didn't have nothing. So you want to do an outro? You want to do an outro, buddy?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me quickly think of something here.
In the meantime, peace, love, happiness, and unity.
Rock on!
Woo!
So, thank you all for joining in to Backyard Bullshit. You officially got your weekly dose of bullshit from the Kelowitz brothers.
In a garage, in a shop, with the truck behind us.
Yeah.
And you can follow us on Backyard BS Podcast on Instagram and Facebook, even though I don't really post on the Facebook. But you can still follow on the Facebook.